Well, I did want to say Valentine's Day because it's not too late to order some PX merch.
PX merch, yeah.
We've got some
Pink
lovely
polo tops,
lady
yeah.
polos. Have we still got them on offer, Tom?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Put one off.
Yeah, about Valentine's special.
Valentine's special.
Cereals, this one, believe it or not, we've got James to agree to camp with us. Can you define a long-term investment?
5 years?
A short-term one that went wrong.
It's 7 o'clock, so we made it to Michael Harwood, who we were at school together at King's Ely back in the day. We haven't changed, have we? Not at all. 9 years old we first met each other and went through school. Michael came out of here, how long have you been here now?
Since 2011.
Oh, so quite a while. So Michael was a vet, he went to Liverpool as a vet, and then he came out here and now had 2 children. And you built yourself a veterinary with spade horses. Yeah. You would say small animals, because I've seen lots of small animals. But you're not a small animal vet, are you?
I'm in everything, but this is an equine veterinary hospital.
Yeah. And here we are in Western Australia, and we are from Perth. How far are we? An hour?
Not even that, half an hour straight off.
Was that all it is? Yeah. Okay. And that's your vehicle, Michael. That's how it's all.
That's it, and that's my that's my number plate.
Hold on, is that legal?
That is. I don't know if you noticed my other number plate. They're very similar. So I spend half my year with my arm deep inside horses, and so half my clients think it's delightful, and half of them think it's wholly unprofessional, and they use the other bets. This is fabulous. So, yeah.
I see your pawn in.
This
Didn't go well there. Did it?
No. So this is where the horse pawn goes. So this is the crush. So if you have a look here, we stand the mare in. So she goes in here. The foals go in this side, and this is my ultrasound, and so the client stands where James is, and then I have my arm basically here inside the mare and describe what's going on with the ultrasound scanner, and where they're.
And is this for you to do AI?
So this is AI rework, and then.
And so are you going to see them then for other parts of the world?
So there's a tacky camera over here. This is my lab, and so this tank here. I've got rid of the lot. Here is full of frozen seeds all around the world.
What, even now?
Yeah. So that's liquid nitrogen there. It's still much as you'll see in the cattle industry.
So what happens? You organise before you find the client?
The client will organise everything, and then we'll liaise and confirm we can do everything.
Huh.
And then these are all the lab machines for just running bloods, etc. This is the outfits we wear when we're collecting the stallions. That's protective chest gear and helmets, and I heard James has one of these in his bedroom, but I don't know. I mean. That's what they call an artificial vagina.
Yeah, I'm going to edit that part out.
Come on, this could be a video that has the most hits out of it.
I don't know how to edit, but I'm going to find a way of editing that bit.
So these are inpatient stables. It's my main office there. Drugstore there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So they would typically go for an AI as opposed to getting a stallion.
No, not typically, but if you want a specific stallion, then you will have to. But they don't have here. We're miles away from it. Supposedly, I believe that the stat is that Perth is the most isolated city in the world. So to get a stallion here.
Oh, see. Okay. Yeah.
And then this is the reception. So this was an old. You remember when you first came here? This was an old horse barn.
It looked nothing like this when I first came here.
I've been a little bit busy. I've been very lucky. I've made some good friends who are traders, and we've just worked together. We've done this all together.
How many vets are here?
We've got 6 vets.
Okay, 6 plus you.
6 plus me, and then 6 vet nurses as well. So yeah, good team.
So 13 of them.
And then I've got a bookkeeper, accounts lady. So it's quite a nice team.
Yeah.
I think we've got 15 people.
2,000 clients is a lot of clients.
And then these are the impatients here. So some of these are impatients, some of these are iron horses.
So considering you started this from scratch.
Yeah.
You didn't come into this business, did you? No. You moved here and had a go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you had worked in the east, hadn't you? As a
yeah, I worked in the Hunter Valley, in Queensland, lots of places. So, yeah. So this is the
I came up to see you, didn't I? Where is it they do the Western?
You visited in Tamworth.
Tamworth, that's it.
In Tamworth, I ran a quarter horse stud there.
Yeah.
So,
It's called Black Betty.
some of those boys, they get off the horse trailer over there, the horse floats as they call them in Australia, and they get very excited when they see Black Betty. And they jump on there, and then we use the device I demonstrated to do the business. So yeah.
Good morning. Good day. 10th of February. It's not raining for once, albeit it was drizzling on the way down. Lincolnshire was nice yesterday. First day of the year in Lincolnshire, it's not rained. So I can understand those of us who wish to go and seek some nicer weather. We're going to have a wander around today. I know Sandy has an interesting chap coming. Tom, who is that?
Don't know, but it's to do with closed transfer.
Okay, that interesting, you've forgotten his name. But I understand it's some quite impressive technology, so that'll be interesting. Take a wander around the yard. Also, we're going to go and meet our new tenant who's moving into Irwin Centre 5. You'll recall we did a section on that a few weeks ago. We had been using that office for farm use. It served us very well for open day of merchandise. And as discussed in that, we did try to ensure that we weren't paying rates, obviously given it's farm business, farm use. Well, that battle rumbled on, and in the end, the computer said no. We had somebody engage us, and for 2 minutes, chased them, and then, oh no, sorry, wrong person, and then computer still said no. But anyway, we've now decided, to rent it out. Quite an interesting let, actually. Nice lady. She's going to be setting up a sort of arts and crafts exhibition workshop type arrangement. So that'll be of interest. We'll have a wander around there, discuss her plans. Quite interesting, including some, I think, funding she's got for that through a special government scheme. So again, hopefully that'll be of interest. Right, we'll have a quick wander around, see what everybody's up to. Workshop, no doubt, hub of activity. We were going to go and look at a long-term investment, weren't we, Tom?
Your very poor long-term investment, Simon.
Oh, Tom, can you define a long-term investment for me?
How long have you had that for?
Can you define a long-term investment?
5 years?
A short-term one that went wrong. So that was a water tower I bought with a friend about 10 years ago, and it's been an eternal battle with the council. It's actually a lovely water tower. I'll get Tom to pull up a picture, and then comments can let us know if they'd like us to pop up, have a look. We'll get Tom all the way up to the top. I've been up there once or twice when we first bought it, but it's a little bit unnerving with the floorboards and things. I'm sure the channel would definitely like Tom to
It's worth noting you're trying to flog it, aren't you?
Yeah. Right, here's Glenn. What's going on?
How many biscuits have you got?
Snack time.
It's 10 a.m.
Just making up spare wheel brackets for the header trailers. Waiting on some steel for the rest of the A-frames for the tyres. So keeping busy, plenty going on.
Can we go and have a look?
Mm-hmm. I just finished cutting up some flat steel, getting the holes drilled. Basically, if you come around here and have a look, these brackets here are going to bolt around the chassis of the header trailers like so. Then that's going to stick out. You're going to have the wheel which is behind Tom's spare wheel. It's going to bolt down on top of that. So every header trailer will have a spare wheel with it, because at the moment they haven't got anything. So I've got 4 of these to make. I've done 2. Obviously, when I finish making them, we'll.
And why don't they have a spare? Is that just standard?
No idea. I don't think Class do them.
Others do, but Class don't, or?
Well, James sent me some pictures of somebody. I don't know whether it was genuine. I think it was genuine actually, because the price of them was horrendous. So we managed to get hold of some drawings.
How often do we actually need them? As in,
you do get punches on the header trailers.
do you?
Yeah. So if they're all carrying one,
Yeah.
so someone running out or whatever, because it's bound to happen if we're up
Yeah.
links or whatever. So
How
yeah.
many, so how many have you got to make? 4?
I've got to make 4 of these. Yeah, I've done 2. Just cut the steel up for the next one, or some of the steel. It's quite time consuming because obviously you've got to measure everything.
Yeah.
First one took a bit of time because obviously it was backwards and forwards to the header trailers, make sure it fitted, find out where we were going to fit them on the actual header trailer itself, but no, I think it worked.
How are we cutting all of this?
With a plasma.
Ah.
So this is all plasma cut.
Yeah.
And James bought us a chop saw as well, which I'm cutting the tube section with.
Do you like the look of Tom Lamb's plasma table?
I haven't actually seen it.
You haven't?
But it was mentioned when he was here last week. Maybe one day.
It's an impressive piece of kit.
One day.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on a thick sheet of steel for this table as well, because that's not thick enough and it's all over the place.
Ah.
So I'm going to cut that off.
And then what's the plan? Spraying them?
Yeah, these are going to be, I'll obviously clean these all up, get all the old paint off because that's second-hand box. And then they're going to be painted Class chassis grey, so they'll blend in. They should look like they're made, well they are made for it, but they should look genuine, you know.
Good man. What's next after these?
After these, I've got 4 more of those A-frames to make that are outside of the door.
Yeah.
But I phoned the steel merchant up this morning, and they still haven't got the steel in. So fingers crossed we'll get that tomorrow. But
Where do we get our steel from?
Boone's at Benwick.
Oh, okay.
I spoke to him. He should have had the steel Friday, but for whatever reason he didn't.
Is it getting more difficult nowadays to get steel?
I don't think it's more difficult. It's just getting more expensive, isn't it? And obviously, like, we don't use mass quantities of it. The more you use, the cheaper you get it.
Yeah.
I think Tom Lamb was saying that he can get it cheaper than what we could, because obviously he uses more.
Yeah.
So
Always got a project on the go. Okay, good man. What's everyone else up to? Sounds very quiet up there.
Simon's servicing the. Well, it's quiet because the heater's not running.
Ah.
So that's quiet. Simon's on trucks. I think Fred is cleaning Fent number 4 up. Sandy's out on a digger somewhere, I think. And I don't know what Kieran's doing today.
Transport.
Used steel.
Huh?
He's getting used steel, isn't he?
No, he hasn't gone.
Ah, let's go and see if we can
Well,
find
at least
it.
I hope he hasn't gone because I haven't got it all. I've got enough to do for today. I should need it tomorrow, so there's no point in sending them up today and tomorrow. So fingers crossed they'll have it all in, and yeah, going to have a bigger tabletop. It's going to be twice that thick, and it's going to be 12mm thick because this just gets warped over time.
Yeah. And then you're looking forward to nicer weather, getting out of here. Okay, so we're just talking about our Brazil.
Yeah, your
plans.
Brazil trip, yeah.
So we're off to Brazil, myself, Tom and James at the end of the month, flying out overnight on the Thursday. Super trip planned, visiting Goodyear Titan factory on the morning we land.
That'll be good.
So it's going to be
Yeah.
work this trip.
You work.
Honestly, people think it's a jolly, it's not. So staying in Sao Paulo, so sorted hotels yesterday for that, incredible value. So actually really nice hotel for the 2 nights. Tom and I will obviously share. His lordship will
Get his
be on his own, which is fair enough. And then we're flying to Curitiba, and that hotel looks a bit
Interesting.
a bit more interesting. So that'll be fun. That's a Booking.com special. So hopefully we'll get some good content from that one. And then I understand on the Monday morning we'll go from that hotel to onto the Horse private jet.
Oh, that'll be nice. Well, it can't be any worse than Tom's booking of the hotel when we went to
I've
Germany
heard
in
this.
February. Yeah, and we turned up and we drove into the street, and you know when you stand in the street and think, this isn't safe, and you can't probably say too much, but there was red lights all over the place. And
it had come up. It was from Tom's previous history.
yeah,
Recommendations.
recommendations for great places to stay.
Yeah.
But he was not impressed.
Oh,
we
no.
did stay there. There was some interesting smells when we were in the hotel.
I'm sure. we have to be careful with what we say though, because I did want to say Valentine's Day because it's not too late to order some PX merch.
PX merch, yeah.
We've got some
Pink
lovely
polo tops,
lady
yeah.
polos. Have we still got them on offer, Tom?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Put one off.
Yeah, Valentine's special.
Valentine's special.
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah,
And
indeed.
so we've nipped down to the spray store with Sandy, Kieran, and we've got Richard here from Wisdom Systems showing us his new clothes transfer system. Richard, would you like to just give a bit of an introduction, who you are, the business?
Yep, very quick, thank you. So, Richard Garnett from Wisdom Systems in Hereford. We're developers of clothes transfer equipment, and we have a little bit of a niche in that in most countries in the world. This particular unit is to allow these new Easy Connect caps to open and empty very quickly into the sprayer, rinse the container, and if required, measure part packs using the cylinder at the side. The system and the cap, you peel the dust cap off the top, we put that onto the top of the device, pull the handle, which opens the container. The plug has now been taken out of the cap, but it's still attached to the device. Chemical is then taken out with a little bit of vacuum. We allow air in, and this will empty a 10-litre pack of something really thick and sticky like Stomp in 12 seconds. If you don't want the whole pack, you can reclose the container like that, and that will now allow us to wash the back of the cap and take it off pre-sealed, ready to go back on the shelf.
And that 12 seconds compares with?
I think if you tip a 10-litre bottle of Stomp, it probably takes 25-30 seconds just to empty and another 10 or 15 seconds to rinse.
Wow. And how many would you empty at any one time?
Varies depending on what the agronomist has for us. Yeah, we could be emptying 25, 30 cans into a sprayer at a time every fill.
In terms of operational efficiency, the people that have got these on farms and have been using them in the development phase, they believe that they get 25 to 35% improvement in efficiency because it's so much quicker.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a big difference, yeah.
And very clean as well.
Yeah, well, it saves as the operator, it's, you know, we've got no touch or connection to chemical at all. It's completely sealed. Same with the other systems that we have as well, with the IBCs, with close transfer systems. So it's trying to keep us as safe as possible and try and keep the chemical away from us, which is ideal.
Perfect. So we've set up effectively a demo here. Richard, do you want to talk us through?
So we've got a demo rig here. Typically, if this was actually on the sprayer, then this connector would be connected to the sprayer to generate the suction. And we have another connection here for water, so we can rinse the pack and rinse the system through. So this is a little vacuum gauge, just to indicate when it's on the sprayer whether you've got masses of vacuum to pull whole containers through, or if you want to wash, and measure the containers, then you can turn the engine speed down or the pump speed so that the needle's in the yellow section, and that means that the chemical doesn't shoot up here, it just comes up nice and gradually. And the best tip any operator ever gave me was, if you've got to measure chemical, don't measure the last bottle, always measure the first one. Because if you make a mess, you can tip the whole lot in and start again. So just to give you a demonstration of how quickly this system empties compared to open pouring where you get glugs and all sorts of things, I'm going to put this 1 litre bottle on like this. We'll pull that round. This is still not open inside, the cap's still in, as you saw before, until you pull it right the way around. So we've got a nice gentle vacuum in here. Now don't blink because you might miss it. Ready? And as soon as that's done, that's rinsed the bottle. When we get to that position, against this red knob, that's washing the back of the cap. So when you take it off like that, it's sealed, clean, and ready to go in your baler.
Amazing.
Big difference.
So in terms of having to do all of that manually,
You're having to hold the can, pour the chemical in, and then we have a cleaner jet within the basin, so then you're having to lean into the basin to clean it, and then swirl it round and round and round, and then take it off, put the cap back on, and then put it in the baler.
with every...
Yeah, with every can.
Wow.
And from a metrics point of view, because I'm sure you like the numbers around this system with small containers up to 20 litres, and the system for IBCs, which is 20 litre and larger, both systems reduce operator contamination and the mixing site contamination from concentrate by over 98%. So we're going from an enormous leap of change.
Yeah. Wow. How long has this been in the development?
I started making close transfer systems in 1986.
True.
Yeah.
Definitely older than you.
So,
wow. And how much would one of these cost?
This unit here and this together is £3,650.
And so payback. Have you looked at the payback for, let's call it an average hourly sprayer handler, this, that, the other?
Yes, and what we do is, because of the efficiency that it brings to the operation, we do it based on the number of extra hectares you can produce a day, treated, and in a very much more timely manner. And we get a payback of the IBC system in 2 days. They're
Wow.
£1,025 each.
Wow.
And that will allow your sprayers to do 20 to 40% more hectares per day, because you're not standing there taking time, holding the container and washing plastic.
Safer as well.
Yeah, this is not quite as big a change as that, but it's still 25 to 30% improvement. And there is not one thing on the market or available even conceptually that will allow sprayers like your sprayers to have 40% more productivity a day.
Crikey. And so you were just telling us you are all over the world with these. So you're saying you're off to Chicago?
That's with a different a retail approach, but yes,
Yeah.
we have close transfer equipment like those systems over there throughout the banana plantations of Central and South America, some in the Philippines.
Wow.
In Australia, we ought to ask James to go and check on this while he's there. In Australia, since the mid to late 90s, 90% of all ag chem is delivered to farms in containers like the green and white ones over there. And they're returnable and refillable.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So we don't even need our compactor for that.
Best not to use plastic just once, no. You can
sure.
use, even with the pesticide container, you can use their packaging up to 6 years. Now, you can imagine how much more sustainable that is than throwing it in the bin.
Yeah, for sure. And then you were saying in terms of manufacturing, so they've made down the road.
The company, Hypro Pentair, is just along the road from here. Bourne Quarters, 2.5, 3 miles?
Yeah.
It was developed by, the cap was developed by myself and my colleagues at Wisdom Systems.
With inspiration from?
With inspiration from something we made for Unilever for fabric softener and detergent. We make the measuring unit in Hereford, and this is actually assembled now in Pisa in Italy, in one of Hypro's factories.
Very good.
The rest of this thing is just a demonstration unit that we can take to shows and exhibitions.
Yeah. So in terms of efficiency wise, this alongside the new sprayers, we're suddenly able to do how much more?
Another tank, right, probably.
I guess you get 5 loads a day out of your sprayer, do you? Not that many. How much?
4 loads a day.
Let's say you do 4 loads a day. You get 1 extra load by using that transfer system. That's a 20% improvement. If you get 2 loads a day, you're into 50% improvement.
Big difference. Make James
Wow.
happy.
Yeah, so moving to the IBCs, which I can see you've got lots and lots of here now, that system will put the chemical directly in the sprayer, no air, no stoppage, no brakes, nothing to wash, at 35 litres a minute. Now, I've not met an operator that can tip chemical that quickly.
No.
And there's no plastic to wash and no plastic to dispose of.
So Richard, thanks for the demo. Super stuff. I was thinking you should get your logo or website across the bottom there.
We will, but it actually belongs to Syngenta.
All right. Well, we'll get Syngentas because they're a sponsor, so that's absolutely
That's right.
fine. We can approve of that.
Great.
So no, look, thanks for that. Marvellous. I mean, Sandy, Kieran, super impressed. get even more done. As I said, I mean, I think James will be straight away asking, well, how many more hectares a day? This and that.
And the best news is, at the moment, Anglian Water, Severn Trent and Thames Water are actually paying to put these on farms to stop pesticide getting into water.
Are they really? Wow. Okay, that's something we should definitely follow up on, and I'm sure the audience would love to understand a bit more about that, without doubt. Okay, perfect.
Good.
Thanks
very
ever so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Heading over to Irwin Centre 5 now. So, as mentioned earlier, this is the office block we have been using for farm use. So, we're using it for open day, merchandise store, and all other bits and pieces. We did try and approach the rates guys, and just impossible, quite frankly. Said numerous emails, actually had a point of contact, and after a couple of exchanges with them, they were apparently then, no, not the right person. So computer said no, have to pay the rates.
Are we allowed to say what the rates are?
You can find the rates online, yeah. And as everyone's aware, rates have just gone up by 25% as well. Anyway, good news is we've got a new tenant for Office 5, and again, as everyone will appreciate, office demand isn't quite what it used to be. I think we've touched on this previously, how we developed an 80-90 space brand new car park over there just about Easter 2020. That was a precondition for a new block we have planning permission for here. Obviously, we put a pin in that with COVID. We're now picking up the pencil again on that, but what we're looking at is sort of other more, let's say, hybrid type stuff. So whether it's a dentist, a doctor's, nursery, we've been in conversations with nursery, think it'd be a fantastic nursery location down here. So just getting a company at the moment quote on getting some computer generated images on that one, see if we can maybe get it pre-let before we actually take the plunge on what will be an expensive build. So we're wondering now, going to meet the new tenant who's literally just moved in and discuss her plans. So I think it'd be quite interesting for the channel, give others some ideas, inspiration, how they might use ultimately some older farm buildings for different purposes, as I said, other than the standard office type thing. So let's wander in, Tom. So we're now in Unit 5. It has actually already changed slightly. There used to be a big cupboard here, so Chris has taken that out and it's brightened it up a great deal in here, and it's like a different room, isn't it? So this is it Snay?
Snay, yes, Snay. Nice to meet you.
Snay Zavira?
Snay Zaveri.
Zaveri. So our new tenant for Unit 5, would you like to give a bit of background in terms of who you are, what the plans are?
Yes, of course. So I'm Snay Zaveri. I have just rented the space off PX Farm, so thank you. Thank you for giving it to me and choosing me. So my background, just a little bit, I have an art degree, design degree, always worked in sort of design and art field, worked my way up sort of the ladder, the corporate ladder, which is always fun.
And is that always sort of locally, or is in the Cambridge area?
I grew up in India, so I've done all my education in India, worked in ad agencies there, worked at design firms, and then came across the UK, been here for about 15 years now. Worked for the University of Cambridge again. I used to lead the brand team there. I then moved to tech companies, and again, I mean, Cambridge is a place for tech companies, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was leading the brand team there, and then in July, redundancy hit, which was amazing. Took it with my arms wide open, and I was like, yes, please give me the severance package. And I come from a family of jewelers, actually, so I've always been sort of making stuff, creating stuff, and with an art degree as well. I would always sort of design jewelry for my family. So I thought, okay, let me start designing jewelry, bring the business across to the UK, and I started that October 2025, so not long now. So that business is running alongside. But then as I was doing that, I was looking for a space for myself, like a studio space. So I went out, started looking for spaces, but one, there's nothing available. There's a massive wait list everywhere. And every place I went to just felt really cool. They were ready to give me like a tiny room and a desk somewhere. And I'm like, this isn't a community. Like, where is the community? Yeah. I want to work with other creatives and makers. And hence this idea popped in my head saying, I want to find a space, and I want to create the space myself for artists and creators and makers, and we can all sort of come together and work, sort of bring ideas in. And hence started the hunt to look for a space, and this is where I ended up.
Perfect. And so you're going to be running it almost like a membership type arrangement?
Yeah, so I'm renting the space of PX Farms, and people are going to be members. So artists will be members who can rent studio spaces, and then people can then rent out additional spaces to run different workshops. But then I'm going to be managing the space and also running a whole bunch of events and workshops. So if you find food trucks outside, that's probably me.
Well, perfect. The rest of the tenants will enjoy that, I know. There's something definitely missing down here. So shall we take a stroll through and discuss what your plans are? So is this going to stay as is, this sort of entrance area, or?
No, this space is actually going to turn into a ceramic workshop. So when you come, hopefully in the next 3 weeks, there'll be desks and benches across here. There's going to be a high table here for workshop space. And yeah, people are going to run ceramics and well-being workshop in this space. So this is a slightly more messier space, so I can shut the door on it and just keep all the dirt here.
Okay, are you planning on changing the floor down here?
Yes, we
will. As well as in here?
Yeah, we'll have easy wipeable tiles all across the floor, so gone are the blue carpets. Sorry, but not sorry.
Adrian put those in, yes. I think it's about time we'd do an upgrade.
I know, can't take you to the rest. So plans for this space, as you can see, I've been very creative in marking it with masking tape. It should give you an idea what it's going to be. This entire area, flooring is going to change. We're going to have white-ish tiles. Again, very easy, wipe clean, waterproof tiles across here. That bit at the back is going to turn into a gallery space and a workshop space for events. So there'll be a projector somewhere here, people can sort of have a screen, and then these chairs are probably going to fill up the space for events, and then when that's not needed, you'll find loads of plinths and artists showcasing their work. This is going to turn into a workshop space, but everything's very flexible, so we're not going to have any walls. And even if we do, it'll just be concertina, just pull it back so we can use the space as required. And yeah, a little kitchenette over here. And we're going to use this entrance as well, so people can sort of walk in.
So you've asked us to change what is currently the fire exit into sort of a main door to make it easier. That makes sense.
I think it'll look quite nice for people to walk in and then just see the expanse of this space.
Sure. It's lovely and light, isn't it, for art? I think that's what appealed to you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I saw lots of spaces in Cambridge, and then the minute I walked in here, I was like, yeah, this feels calm. I can see a community coming together here, and I think what worked is these mezzanine floors. Because I was like, okay, artists can rent the studio, stay up there, but then this is where everyone
Which is
together.
interesting, because I think I mentioned to you, we did actually have plans drawn up to join the floors to create 2 separate offices. So you came just in time.
No, this is perfect, because this, I love the window. This is the highlight of the space. No, please don't do that. I'm staying here. I'm staying put. Don't do that.
And then in the upstairs rooms, you're thinking?
We will have, so the current plan is to have 6 artist studios, 2 small studios and medium studios. But since October, since I launched the website, I've been inundated with requests. So there have been a few people who've come this week to look at the space who are actually considering renting the entire space.
Oh, wow.
To actually have it as a studio space and then also run certain workshops there. So if that's what they like to do, they could do that. So now,
excellent. So it sounds like you're full before you've even started.
I think workshops definitely full. Studios, I'm still deciding, because I'm not going to keep a selection criteria as such, but it'll still be good to get different artists and different makers. So I want to try and make sure that I'm evening that out a bit.
And I guess it will be nice for these artists in that typically, I should imagine, they work on their own a lot.
Yes.
And often probably from home in a room and don't speak to anybody all day.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's a really good idea.
It'll be really nice. So the plan is, I actually had someone in yesterday who wants to run a networking event for creatives and artists over here. So hopefully that will happen and coincide with the launch event, which I'm planning on keeping in the end of March. So we're going to have a full day, maybe a full weekend of workshops, stalls, talks, events, food trucks outside, basically bring people from all over these villages into this space. And actually even put Urban Centre on the map, because so many people were like, we didn't know this place existed.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then I think, as you're aware, we have planning permission for a new block over that side of the car park, and that's why we put the new one in. It sounds like you might need some space in that one already.
I would probably move
there. You're going to move and take the whole thing.
I think so.
Crikey, seeing that much demand, that's incredible.
I was genuinely surprised. So yeah, I need the space up and running soon now.
Perfect. So I thought we'd try and bring something back that we've not done some time, but a few comments requesting as such. Hopefully this will kick Tom and James back into shape, addressing some of the questions online. A few I've just quickly pulled out. Did we have to replace the chair? Poor old Tom Lamb. I expect Pasky probably did. We'll follow up on that one. Another one, PX policy for workers' length of tenure. No, there's nothing specific. Obviously, as with anyone in life, people move on, life's changed, jobs change, that's how it is. Closed transfer systems, hopefully that question has been answered today. No, but certainly something we're looking at seriously. Is James on holiday? Moving to the next one. Lots of kind comments about the business and the James and Tom collaboration. We felt it worked really well. Really pleased to see everybody else did on both channels, Tom's and ours. So that's very kind. In terms of what's next for this week, as mentioned earlier, Brazil plans. That's exciting. So as I said, just sorting out our hotels and some of the internal flights. Flight. I'm off on holiday next week, so that'll be fun for me and my family. And then we've got some other exciting stuff coming up. Hopefully planning a trip to the US for the channel. Cereals. This one, believe it or not, we've got James to agree to camp with us. It is glamping, but it's a pretty good step. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. James will be back soon, no doubt. And I hope you also enjoyed the 2025 intro highlights, which I believe is being published this week, Tom.
So yeah, this video is going last Sunday, so it should have gone live Wednesday last week. So we're filming a little bit out of order.
Little bit out of sync, but hopefully everybody understands why, and hopefully they enjoy it. Thanks for your support, thanks for sponsor support, and keep clicking subscribe. Keep supporting this channel. Have a good week. Cheers.